I, 26F, asked my boyfriend, 27M, of 5 years to consider an open relationship. He broke up with me and I'm heartbroken and going insane. I'm not going to bore you guys with huge blocks of text, so here goes. I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years. He's amazing, great job, family and friends love him, intelligent, attractive, supportive, and sex life is great. One of the important points is that we do not fight at all, and he's quite firm about this. He thinks fighting is a waste of time and for children. I learned that early on in the relationship and realized it's something I've grown to agree with even though I hated it at first. We always sit down, discuss and talk about issues, and are able to reach compromises. He's very understanding and patient, and never gets so angry that he has to raise his voice. He's also quite traditional in some aspects too, which is good and bad. Although I've been able to talk to him and open his mind up about certain things, I know he hates cheaters and I do trust him. And I know he trusts me too. He never ever restricted me or not let me do anything. Because of these things about him, I'm quite confused by how he's acting. I've been thinking about wanting to have an open relationship for a while, and it would be fair both ways. We would both get to sleep with other people, as long as we were honest with each other about it and it was purely physical. I know he's quite traditional, but it also never seemed like something he would be that against, as he said things like, I have nothing against girls who like to sleep around, as long as they don't pretend they're innocent/good girl, etc. However, I'm not going to pretend that he isn't a monogamous type of guy, because he is. I just figured that maybe I could open his mind to something different. He's very good in bed, but I just wanted to have some other experiences. Is that really wrong? I love him and it has nothing to do with just purely physical sex. So a few days ago I decided to bring up the topic with opening up our relationship with him. His only answers were, "Are you joking or are you serious?" To which I said I was being serious and wanted to know how he felt about it. He then told me that I could sleep with whoever I wanted to sleep with, and to have a nice life. Then he packed some stuff and left. We share an apartment, and I couldn't really stop him. Since then he has blocked me from calling him, all his social media, and won't speak to me. I don't know where he is staying because his friends refuse to talk to me and I've been crying my eyes out for the past few days. He has removed his relationship status from Facebook and sent his friend over to get some of his other stuff, who has told me that he would eventually come to get the rest of things but wouldn't tell me anything else. He said that I've done enough damage and he's ashamed that he thought I would end up married with his friend. He also told me that I would be happier and better off if I didn't pretend to be somebody I wasn't when I started dating again. If he said he wasn't comfortable with it, I would have been okay with that, but he never gave me a chance. He literally just broke up with me for bringing it up, and he's never been like this before. I've been going to his workplace but haven't been able to see him, and I can't get into the department where he works because you need to have clearance, and the receptionists say that he isn't taking any visits from anybody either. I love him so much and I've done nothing over the past few days except cry and cry and cry, and I don't know what to do. I just want to talk to him and hear his voice, and have him forgive me for being so stupid and tell me everything is going to be okay and talk to me like he usually does, but I don't understand how he can act like this and never acted like this before. I don't know what to do and I'm going fucking crazy. The only thing I've been able to get from him is that one of my mutual friends talked to him for a while, but he basically didn't want to talk about it to anybody else. But the friend did ask him if he's really going to throw away 5 years over something so small, to which my boyfriend apparently said that he's not throwing away anything, he's cutting his losses while he can. Please help Reddit. I really don't know what to do, it feels like I'm falling apart. And what's even worse is some of my friends tell me what do you expect, etc., and the others are there for me but don't know what to do either. Frown. Sorry if some things don't make sense, I'm a mess and everything is just coming out as best as I can write it down. If any boy needs to me clear anything up, I will.
No offense, but this guy sounds pretty awesome and I want to be his friend. You said in your outline that he is a monogamous type of guy and that the sex is great. And based off what he said of girls who sleep around, I can probably conclude he views it the same way I do. It's a free world, you can sleep with who and however many people you want to, but that doesn't mean that I would want that person to be my girlfriend/fiance/wife. It just means, yeah, you possess the ability to do that. You don't really explain why you want to sleep with other people? You just want experiences? I know there is a poly movement among some of the users here, but they also would say it's only something that both people would be comfortable with. I don't feel like you thought it out all that much. Think about what you're asking from his perspective. He's been amazing, you live together, you have great sex, he trusts you completely, the relationships sound like one of the best on paper. And then you turn around and tell him, hey, we're doing amazing, so I'd like to fuck other guys. For anyone that is strictly monogamous, saying something like to them is an implication of a plethora of things. I don't like sex with you isn't enough, I fantasize about other penises being inside of me and now I want to act on those fantasies. And honestly, it's hard to trudge your way back from that. I, for one, couldn't sit with a 5-year or so and have her tell me she wants to bang other dudes and have it be a discussion that is at all on equal footing. With that said, I honestly think you're pretty screwed. If he was that quick to shut you down, then your only hope is somehow in some way someone gets to him and tells him to stop overreacting. For what you can do? I really don't know. Write an email? Write a letter? I really don't think you have a lot of other options.
I want to write to him, but I think he will just throw it away, I don't know. Well, it had been 5 years, and I wouldn't have minded having new people in our sexual lives, it would have gone both ways. I just thought he would have been open to new things. I don't understand why he would just cut me off without even giving me an explanation. I don't think that's really fair.
So then he throws it away. You're not getting anywhere anyway. Right now you have no contact with him through any medium. If you don't write him a letter or send him an email, then your success rate is 0 versus maybe 1%. But it's still a chance, so take it. Be persistent but not crazy, I guess? And you can't say it would have gone both ways and assume that's a compromise. 1. I'm going to assume you're an attractive woman. With that assumption, you getting laid is going to be incredibly easy. 2. You're the one who wanted it, so you'll be the one out the door pursuing it. Again, you'll have more sex than he will. 3. You're operating on the assumption he would even want to have sex with other women. He has a great job, a great girlfriend, awesome friends and a great life. Why would he also want to spend the ridiculous amount of effort it takes to stick his penis in a strange woman when the women he loves and has great sex with is there when, or shortly after, he's home? Just saying it would have gone both ways, doesn't mean it would have. And being open to new things is like skydiving, having sex on the beach, going to a country you aren't a fan of. Not, after 5 years in a relationship, having your girlfriend, love of your life, talk about banging other people. That's a pretty severe extreme of a life he was used to. And maybe he didn't explain it, but it's obvious why he did it. He did it because you brought up fucking other dudes. There's not really much left to explain after that. You keep saying it would be fair and it would go both ways, but you seem to be forgetting the fact that he's monogamous and wouldn't want to sleep with other people, and therefore you would be the only one doing so. That makes it unfair. Greater than I wouldn't have minded having new people in our sexual lives. No. It's not that you wouldn't have minded. You actively wanted this, enough to bring it up seriously in conversation with the intention of persuading your boyfriend to embrace it and then to go ahead and sleep with other people. I just figured that maybe I could open his mind to something different. When it comes to something so personal and deeply ingrained as one's attitude toward monogamy, it's very difficult to get someone to change their mind just through presenting a situation and subsequently have them truly be okay with non-monogamy. And frankly, to suggest that you could do it so easily is kind of insulting. People very often have strong reasons for and emotions surrounding the values that they hold. Greater than he also told me that I would be happier and better off if I didn't pretend to be somebody I wasn't when I started dating again. Clearly, for him, it's an absolute must to have a girlfriend who is both monogamous and not at all receptive to the idea of an open relationship. Because you've now shown that you don't fulfill the latter part of that requirement, he feels that you deceived him by omission. Perhaps he could have made his feelings more clear earlier on in the relationship, but the fact is that he didn't, and now here you are. I just thought he would have been open to new things. There's a difference between being open to trying new things within the parameters of your existing relationship, and being open to changing the entire definition of your relationship, what is acceptable in those bounds, and what you consider to be infidelity. Those are huge, relationship upturning new things. It would be kind of like saying to your staunchly atheist boyfriend, I want us to become actively practicing Christians. Wait, why is this a deal breaker for you? I thought you'd be open to new things. It's unfortunate that your relationship ended so suddenly over something you view as such a minor issue, but if your ex-boyfriend continues to hold fast to his principles, and there's every reason to think that he will, you two are ultimately no longer compatible. Sorry.